Dear students, today we are going to discuss the last topic in this lesson, chromatography. So in the purification of organic compounds, this chromatographic technique is an important one. So for the purification of organic compound, the components will be more in the mixture. So when we prepare organic compound, we get the mixture. Along with the organic compound, more components will be there, more impurities will be there. So to separate the components of that mixture, this chromatographic technique will be highly useful. And first, this technique was introduced by the scientist Svet in the year 1906. So he is actually a Russian botanist. And first, he separated the components of a chlorophyll. So one more question. So we know that the chlorophyll pigment is present in the plants. So the colored components of chlorophyll were separated by the Russian botanist Svet in the year 1906. So that is the first separation process using this technique. Then we developed different chromatographic techniques. So what he did is, he took chlorophyll from the plants, then he prepared petroleum ether solution. He just made it as a solution using the petroleum. So the chlorophyll pigments were added with petroleum ether, so he gets petroleum ether solution. So when this solution is passing through substance called calcium carbonate, so this is acting as adsorbent. So calcium carbonate was taken in a glass tube. So when petroleum ether solution of chlorophyll is passing through this adsorbent calcium carbonate in a glass tube, he obtained different bands or different zones. So colored components of chlorophyll were separated by Svet. Next. What is the principle in chromatographic technique? The two common principles are adsorption as well as partition. So we call the chromatographic technique as adsorption chromatographic technique. So in chromatographic technique, we need two phases. One is stationary phase. Another one is moving phase. So stationary phase will be a substance like silica gel or alumina, starch, magnesium oxide. So any one substance will act as a stationary phase. Sometimes a liquid can also act as stationary phase. Okay. And a moving phase. A moving phase is the mixture which is going to be separated. We prepared an organic compound in the laboratory. So we have obtained compound along with impurities. So the mixture which is going to be separated will act as a moving phase along with the solvent. We dissolve the mixture in a suitable solvent and which is acting as moving phase. So the chromatographic technique is of two types, adsorption chromatographic technique and partition chromatographic technique. In both the cases, two phases will be there, stationary phase and a moving phase. Stationary phase may be a solid as well as liquid. Moving phase will be a liquid or gas. When we can call the chromatography as adsorption chromatography. If the stationary phase is a solid one, then there will be a process called adsorption. We will discuss this in 12th. Okay. So the process will be adsorption when we take solid stationary phase. So the chromatographic technique is called adsorption chromatographic technique. If the stationary phase is a liquid one, then the chromatographic technique is called the partition chromatographic technique. So these two are common chromatographic techniques. So the definition of chromatography is a 2 more question. And one more question is, chroma means color. Right? For separating the colored components of a mixture, we use chromatographic technique. Even for separating the colorless components of a mixture, we use chromatographic technique. The chroma means color. Then based on the principle, it is adsorption chromatographic technique or partition chromatographic technique. In solid stationary phase, the principle will be adsorption, so adsorption chromatographic technique. In liquid stationary phase, principle will be partition, so this is called a partition chromatographic technique. Moving phase may be a liquid as well as gas. So we need two phases for conducting chromatographic experiment or chromatographic technique. The definition is a 2-mark. Define the term chromatography. So chromatography is defined as the differential movement of the components of a mixture through the stationary phase. It's called the chromatographic technique. So stationary phase will be there. Through the stationary phase, how the moving phase is separated. That means it may be undergo adsorption or partition. So a differential movement of a mixture through the stationary phase is called the chromatographic technique. So examples of adsorbents, as I told, the silica gel, alumina, magnesium oxide, or starch. So any cellulose can be acting as adsorbents. Next, what are the common chromatographic techniques? Column chromatography, thin layer chromatography, paper chromatographic technique. So this is simply called as TLC, thin layer chromatographic technique. Another one is gas liquid chromatography. So this is called the GLC, gas liquid chromatographic technique. Next one, ion exchange. So many chromatographic techniques are available. The common chromatographic techniques are column, thin layer, paper, gas liquid, and ion exchange chromatographic techniques. So in this lesson, we are going to study first three. So each one is an individual 3-mark question. First, column chromatography. So as I told, in chromatographic technique, there will be two phases. Stationary phase as well as moving phase. So in column chromatography, we will have a glass tube. Okay. So column means the lengthy glass tube like a burette. Okay. So as we do volumetric analysis in the laboratory, we use burette. Same type of glass tube, a lengthy glass tube is used for separating the components of a mixture. So this is called a column. Okay. Next, at the end of the column, we will have a stopcock. Right. So to open as well as close it, we have a stopcock. Then we have to fill stationary phase. Stationary phase will be filled in that. It may be a solid as well as liquid. Mostly we use solids. Right? Solid stationary phases will be used. So we are going to add a stationary phase. The process is called the packing. So before packing, at this bottom, at this end, a plug of glass wool or cotton should be kept. So this will support the stationary phase. So here we will have cotton plug. So a plug of cotton or glass wool will be kept at the bottom. Next, we will pack the stationary phase. So stationary phase may be alumina or magnesium oxide, or it may be silica gel, or it may be starch. So any one substance will be packed in that. So this is called a stationary phase. Next, moving phase means the prepared organic compound in the laboratory, which is impure in nature, right? Impurity is present, so this is called a mixture. So the prepared organic compound in the laboratory is added with a suitable solvent. The mixture will be added with suitable solvent. So this liquid is called eluent. Okay, one more question. What is eluent? So the solvent will be added with this mixture. So the components of the mixture will be dissolved in the solvent. So this is called eluent, which will act as moving phase. So in this column chromatographic technique, we have a stationary phase, any one, and a moving phase. Okay. Just assume that two components present in the mixture. Okay. One is the organic compound, another one will be the impurity. We prepare organic compound in the laboratory. Along with the organic compound, one impurity is there. So the mixture contains two components. Now what we have to do? The eluent is allowed to pass through the column. So from the top, we just pour eluent. Now this eluent is moving through this stationary phase, right? So when the moving phase is moving from one end into the another end of the column, there will be the process called adsorption. So this is different from absorption. This is AD, not AB. Okay. So the difference will be discussed in the 12th standard. Adsorption means one substance will be attached on the surface of another substance. So this is called adsorption. Okay. So when the eluent is moving from top to bottom in the column, there will be a process called adsorption. Okay. So due to adsorption, we will get different bands or different zones, right? So based on the number of components in the mixture, we will have different zones. As I told, the mixture contains two components, so that we have obtained two zones, right? So the component which is involved in adsorption rapidly will be at the top. Rapid adsorption will be taking place at the top. So out of two components, one component will be adsorbed on the surface of stationary phase. So for component with rapid adsorption, the zone will be at the top position. Then another component will involve in adsorption slowly, so that we will get the band or zone at the end or at the another levels. So if 5 components present in the mixture, we will get 5 zones. So this column chromatography is used to separate the components of a mixture. So when the stopcock is opened, both the components can be easily separated. So the principle is adsorption principle. So this is called as adsorption chromatographic technique, right? So next 3 more questions. Thin layer chromatographic technique. So in this TLC, thin layer chromatographic technique, we need 2 apparatus. One is a plate. This is called a TLC plate. We need a glass plate. So very thin glass plate will be taken. So on this thin plate, we are going to apply the stationary phase. So this stationary phase will be made as a paste. For example, silica gel. The silica gel will be made as a paste using a solvent. The silica gel will be coated on this thin plate. So after coating the stationary phase, we have to dry this using oven. So in laboratory we will have oven. So using that, just to dry the thin plate. After that, we have to draw a baseline. Okay. So baseline will be drawn using pencil. Just draw a baseline. And this distance will be 2 centimeter. At this lower end, at 2 centimeter, you just draw a line. This is called a baseline. Next, we have to take the moving phase. Okay, stationary phase is coated on the thin glass plate. So this will act as adsorbent. So this stationary phase will act as adsorbent. Next, we need moving phase. So as usual, the prepared organic compound along with impurities will be added in a suitable solvent. We will get eluent. Okay. So that will be taken in a beaker. So in a beaker, you take this solvent containing the mixture. And after taking the solvent in the container or a beaker, just dip this TLC plate. The TLC plate will be dipped in the container or a beaker. So while dipping this, the level of solvent should not be more than the baseline. So the level of solvent should be below this line. Okay. So that when the TLC plate is kept in a beaker, the level of solvent should not be more than this baseline. Like this, you have to take less volume of solvent containing the mixture. Then close this container or beaker. So as a closed jar. Next, what happens? Here we have organic components along with the solvent, right? So we have solvent plus organic components. Next, adsorption process will be taking place. So the organic components and the solvents will move in the upward direction. When the TLC plate is dipped in the solvent containing organic compound, all the components of the mixture as well as the solvent will rise in the upward direction. So if you have colored components, for example, in the mixture we have 3 components, right? If all the 3 are colored components, means you will get 3 different spots. It may be component A, B, C. So 3 components present in the mixture will be made as spots. Right? Colored spots can be observed. So using this TLC plate, we can easily identify how much components present in the mixture. 5 components present means 5 spots will be observed. So solvent will rise to the particular level and each component will rise to the particular level based on adsorption. So the component A adsorbed readily, so that it is here. Comparing component A, component B having lesser absorption, so that which is moved somewhat more distance. Component C is having very less absorption, so that continuously it moves in the upward direction. At last it is obtained. So based on the absorption, each component as well as solvent is moving in the upward direction. So we will get the TLC plate. Based on these spots, we can identify what component is present, how much component is present, and what is that component, which can be identified using this thin layer chromatographic technique. If the components are colorless, means the spots can be identified using UV light. So ultraviolet light can be passed on this to identify, or else we may use some reagents. We call them spray reagents. So using spray reagents, we can identify the spots. Next, we will use a formula RF. So this is called a retention factor. Using this retention factor, we can identify the component. So the formula RF is X by Y. The retention factor is equal to X by Y. X means the component traveled from the baseline. To take component A, how much distance traveled from the baseline? This may be 0.5 centimeter. So we just measure how much distance traveled by this component from the baseline. So this is called X. What is Y? How much distance traveled by the solvent, because the mixture as well as the solvent is present in the beaker. So how much distance traveled by the solvent is called Y. So X by Y is called a retention factor. Using this, we may identify the component. So this is called a thin layer chromatography, and the principle is absorption. So this is also known as absorption chromatography. Next one is paper chromatography. Third 3-mark question. Paper chromatography. So here the principle is partition. Partition principle. So this is called a partition chromatography also. So here the principles are same, but instead of TLC plate, we will use paper. So the paper is called a chromatographic paper. Okay. So we will use chromatographic paper. The same principle. The paper dipped in a water will be acting as stationary phase, right? So here we will not use the word adsorbent, or adsorption should not be used. So here the stationary phase is paper dipped in a water will act as stationary phase. As usual, mixture in a suitable solvent will rise in the upward direction. We will get the spots. Spots can be identified easily if it is colored one. For colorless, we may use UV light or spray reagents. Based on a component traveled from baseline, we can identify that. So in paper chromatography, the solvent and the components are moving in the upward direction. They are placed in particular places. This is mainly due to partition, because the paper is in a wet condition. So the paper is dipped in water. So in wet condition we use it. So almost solid. Stationary phase is almost liquid. So that the principle is partition principle. So the chromatographic technique is called paper chromatographic technique. So in lesson number 11, fundamentals of organic chemistry, we have completed characteristics of organic compounds, classification of organic compounds, nomenclature, deduction of elements, estimation of elements, purification of organic compounds. So all these basics, fundamentals we have completed. So with this 20% portion is over, just to prepare well for your examinations. Thank you.